G'day guys, so a couple of months back I did a video about the Supa Peg, which I believe is one of the best tent pegs on the market for forward driving and camping and the like. But I had so many comments on the video going, nah, the Drifa Snowpeak tent pegs are the best, you gotta try them. And I had one a couple of weeks ago and I was just like, you know what, I'm over this. So I went and ordered myself a couple, and I'm pretty much going to do a side-by-side comparison to see if these pegs are really worth it. Now let's talk about a little bit about these pegs. These are the 300mm version. These are also apparently the 300mm, but you can tell the size difference. So I should have technically got the size smaller. But anyway, let's not focus on that. These are drop forged, so they're super tough. They've got a really nice point on them, and you can just tell that they're a really good unit. This bangs into the ground to stop it turning, just like the Supa Peg design. So they just look like a really quality product, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to bend these at all. But my question is it really worth spending so much money to buy these when you can buy this one for 1/10 of the price? Well, let's find out. So the ground here is pretty rock hard. You can see it took a fair bit of effort to get these pegs in there, but they both went in there. The only thing I did notice is that this one did seem to vibrate a little bit more than this one. Maybe that's because this is a bit of a softer metal. I don't really know, but let's get these pegs out of here, if I can, and go on to the next test. So I had no doubts at all that the Snowpeak peg from Drifa is going to be absolutely fine in this terrain. I wasn't one bit expecting to manage to bend one, but yet I did. So yesterday I was just about to whack this in when my sister was like, hey, you bent that. And I looked at it and I'm like, far out, I actually did. So it must have been on Mount Mahari when I was banging them in. It must have got bent up, and then I didn't realise when I pulled it out of the ground, but there you go, I've actually managed to bend one of the Snowpeak pegs, which is funny because I've never ever bent one of the Supa Pegs yet. Now admittedly, like, there's no such thing as an indestructible peg, but it's just interesting that even though this is a high quality peg, it's still bent. So I'm kind of going like $11.60, $1.70, like what's the best here? Admittedly, these do feel really tough, so I'm so surprised, but there you go guys, you just never really know what's gonna happen if it hits a rock something. Doesn't matter what you have, it's gonna bend. And I've got to say guys, the ground up here in the Pilbara is just so hard, and then you hit rocks, it's all sorts of fun, eh? I'm just hoping I managed to bend a Supa Peg now, because otherwise it's unfair, you know? Alrighty guys, so we're at the end of our 8-day trip touring through the Pilbara. We're just in the Gascoyne at the moment, heading home. And we've come across some really hard ground, so it's been a fantastic test for these pegs. Now this peg here is the one that I started the video with, so I've used this every single time that I've set up the tent. And as far as the damage to the peg is concerned, you can see that at the top there's a bit of a flat spot there. Also the bottom, it's been a little bit, well, it's hit a couple of rocks, let's just say that. As far as the shaft is concerned, it's still dead straight, and I've still never managed to bend one of these Supa Pegs. So what about the Drifa pegs? Well, I managed to bend one. Now when I bought these pegs online, I thought there is no way that I will ever bend one of these because they're drop forged, which apparently means they're super strong and everything, but yet I managed to bend one. Now, I don't believe there's a peg out there that cannot be bent unless it's made out of angle iron maybe. But you generally, like, no matter what peg you buy, I feel like there is a chance of bending it. So I don't think it's unusual really, but I'm just a little bit disappointed that it bent seemingly so easy. Admittedly, they are a little bit longer. My fault for not buying the right length really. But besides that, I feel like they are a really great peg. They feel really solid. But are they worth it? Well, to buy enough pegs to peg down, you know, your average family tent, you're probably looking at about 200 bucks. Now, to get the same amount of pegs with the Supa Peg, you'd probably be looking at about $20. So for me, I feel like these pegs, even if you have to replace them every now and then because they get a little bit busted up, they're still, you know, it's just an obvious choice. Like, why would you spend so much money when you can get so many for like 20 bucks? Anyway, that's my take on it. Make up your own mind, guys, but personally, I don't really feel like these are the bee's knees as some people think they are. But each to their own. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in another one.
Seeing if we'll go in.
Yeah, so even the best tent peg won't go through a rock. Tell ya. Seek adventure!